Hi guys, it's Chris of Wilson Wildlife Sculpture. Thank you for joining me. In this video, I'm going to show the best and which is my favorite Arbortech tool. I'm going to demonstrate 5 of these tools, and you can see what works. And actually, I've been traveling for shows, and it's a beautiful fall day, so I've been looking forward to carving outside, and this is a great day. So I have the brand new Turbo Scraper by Arbortech and their Ball Gouge. This is going to be used more for texturing and carving concave areas. And then the Turbo Scraper can be used like the Turboplane. So which is better? The classic Turbo plane, which I've demonstrated many times, or the this new Turbo Scraper. And here's the Ball Gouge. I'm going to show you my grinders in a second and the work I'm working on outside. So I'm one angle grinder short, but I've got my angle grinder set. Let me show you some of this stuff here. So first you can see some examples. I've got one on the black walnut. I think it can use some texturing with this Ball Gouge on the bottom to kind of change the smoothness of it up. Now that's been finished with oil, but I like to go back and improve my works. And this is an interpretive heron that I've actually already just practiced a little bit with the Turbo Scraper on here, and left a pretty smooth finish, but I will demonstrate that again and let you know my verdict on that. And then these pieces, if you remember in previous videos, I demonstrated with the Arbortech's mini carver how to use all their tools and how to create this texture. I'm kind of simulating some grasses for a new ringed neck pheasant carving, and it left some really good finishes, and I'm going to improve upon them hopefully in this video. Here are my grinders set with the Arbortech Tools. First, you've probably seen me use the classic Sears Craftsman angle grinder I've had since 1980s. Sears Industrial, great tool. It works. It's been working for so long. And there's the classic Turboplane, which is carbide, and I've got a brand new one, but this one just keeps working and working. I find I don't need to sharpen it. Soon I'll replace it, maybe if I carve a real hardwood. Here is the new Arbortech Turbo Scraper, and it looks like it carves more than the Turboplane. You can see the difference there. Okay. But, stay tuned so you can see which is more effective, what leaves a smoother finish or takes off more wood. Even though this is brand new sharp, and this one, like I said, I could replace it with a new one. Here's the classic mini carver. Now it comes with an angle grinder from Arbortech. I recommend getting the whole thing because it has a dust collection unit here. It's an area for a dust collection hose or vacuum. And I'm just going to carve outside with the fan, so I won't have a problem. But I've demonstrated how this carbide tip works really, really well. And then finally, there's another angle grinder with a, this is called the contour sander, and I've demonstrated that. And again, you can go to my tool review section on my YouTube channel, and I will, you can click on any of these videos using their tools, and you can see the my individual review of each tool. However, I'm going to demonstrate them all together. I'm actually going to take this one off and put the Ball Gouge on, because this is more for fine sanding. Although I'll leave it on for a second just to smooth up some of those grasses so you can see that. So I demonstrate all these tools. I want you to get a lot of value in this video, and so thanks a lot for subscribing to my channel. I also have instructional videos on my website for fine bird carving. So I'm just carving outside my garage here on this fall day before it gets too cold. We're supposed to have freezing temperatures soon. But let's see, let's get right to it. Let's demonstrate the Turbo Scraper. Now this is just a battery operated grinder. I don't know how much juice it has left, but it's very proficient, and battery operated tools are, more and more artists and carvers are using these because they're, so efficient. You don't have to have all the cords. I'm still old school with the old-fashioned cords. So I've got to turn my fan on, and I always wear safety protection like this, ear protection, and then finally a mask. In this case, I just got a small mask and then something put over it. So I'm going to put those on, and yeah, I'll show you how I do that, and then I'll get started with this video here. So. Okay, my first verdict, you could watch how fast the second tool, the Turboplane, took it off. So the Turbo Scraper looks very menacing, but it actually takes a lot less off. It does leave a smooth finish. I'm going to have to experiment more with it, so the verdict is still out. However, with years of experience using the Turboplane, I could actually get a pretty smooth finish with it. Not necessarily that much finer with the Turbo Scraper. Maybe because this is just red cedar, the wood's pretty soft. I'll have to try it on hardwoods. Well, I already tried it on walnut, and I'll show you that. So this was a piece that had a lot of plane lines on. I used the Turbo Scraper in back there, and it did scrape off some of those planes, but it didn't leave the smoothest finish. I mean, you gotta, there's no excuse for not sanding. So the Turbo Scraper, I think, is a good tool to have, good arsenal in the weapon. But if it's up to me, I would get the Turboplane. Okay, it carves faster, and it leaves just a smooth finish. At least, you know, for my experience so far with it. So let's go on to the mini carver. Because that is also another very effective tool for getting in little nooks and crannies, and I demonstrated that already in other videos doing these walnut pieces. So I'm going to demonstrate the contour sander and the mini carver this time, and then I will put the ball gouge on. So stay tuned for this video. I'm not sure if you like the close-ups or the far away. I'll just kind of do in between this time, so you can watch me carving on this beautiful day. Got to put the fan back on my stuff. By the way, all these tools can be, you can get a discount at Arbortech Tools if you use code ACP10. Yeah, it's 10% off on top of any sale they have. So that's quite a deal. It's ACP10. I wrote that down in the description. Okay, so let me get started with the mini carver. Okay, you see those two tools. Turn the fan off for a second there. That is the contour sander, and this is the mini carver. So of those two tools, well, they're for very different uses. The contour sander quickly finished up this red cedar. I didn't even have that rough grit. I kind of skipped grades. You got to start with a rougher grit. But it smoothed it up very fast. But I got to, again, start with a rougher grit and smooth things out. In the mini carver, I didn't have much carving to do because I don't want to take too much off. But I demonstrated some of the interpretive grasses it carved. And I love it, especially for fine areas. Doesn't substitute the Turboplane because that will carve much faster, and it leaves a smooth finish. This doesn't quite leave as smooth a finish as the Turboplane, and I'm still yet to really master the Turbo Scraper. Okay, so last but not least is this Ball Gouge, and that is the new Arbortech tool. I'm going to use texture. So I'm going to let's see, take this down, put a different piece up here. Now this vise has non-marring jaws on it, which really is great for pieces like this that are really pretty finished. Sure it's locked in there. Okay, it's in there pretty good. Let's see if you can see that. Good. I get a wrench real quick to take this off, so stay tuned. Okay, finally found a wrench when you need one here. I think there's a tool that comes with this contour sander kit. It's pretty neat how these tools can quickly adapt to the angle grinder. I like to get them on tight, just in case. Okay, we'll see how this works for adding texture, and I'm gonna carve these walnut bases too. I don't know if you can see those. Let's see. Yeah, I'll scoot back a little bit more so you can see the whole thing this time. And we'll demonstrate that final tool. Try to get some texture. If it doesn't work, I'll use a die grinder. But I think this contour, ball gouge on the angle grinder is going to work. So just a second. Safety first. Wow, I love it. Take a look at this. It leaves a smooth finish. It carved it very fast. Wow, I'm gonna try it on these bases. That is impressive. Okay, take a look at this base here. Let's see if you can see that okay. Yeah, let me get closer so you can really see what's going on here. This tool looks great. Now I want to vary the texture a little bit. These are kind of interpreted grasses, but I want to smooth areas out and some more little concave areas. So watch this. This. Okay, that's interesting. It didn't work as well on the grain that was figured. This figured walnut has swirling grain, and that created some chips. So as soon as I was celebrating on the walnut that did not have the figured grain, okay, it left a smooth finish. But when I went to this flat surface, and I got some chipping here, and that doesn't look good. So I think it works well, but not for figured grain. So I mean, I finished this piece off, and I really like it. So I'm going to demonstrate this again, so you can see what it can do. So let me switch woods here. Yeah, you can see it splinter there. It just left a little bit of a marred finish. I guess with practice and knowing the grain of the wood, I could do better. And you know, you do have to realize which way you're carving, and it's difficult, especially in the middle of pieces and when you have figured wood. Look at that figure. See where it's sanded and the crotch walnut. Okay, so we'll go to this walnut base, and let's go to a different side here. Where do I want texture here? I like smooth finishes, and but I want to rough contour some of these up here. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll just stick with the base, the bottom of it. I'll make sure you can see here. Gotta make sure that's locked. But it holds it very tight. This is very safe. In fact, this tool is not very, actually it's more aggressive than I thought. Let me back up so lower this so you can see it. This tool is more aggressive than I thought because it's got carbide teeth. But I don't know if you need a vise. You could just kind of hold your piece. It's just safer to have a vise. I wear leather gloves. So let's do one final demonstration, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, taking the safety gear off. Okay, all these Arbortech tools have their function, and they all work well. They're much more faster than hand carving. I mean, I carve full time, and if it weren't for these power tools, I would be struggling making a living. But I do well, especially because I use power tools. Now, I know carvers who carve with hand tools very fast. Power tools work for me, so you can choose what you like. I do also use hand tools, And I probably will go back and refine some of the areas, especially that figured wood where it caused chipping. I know I can use super sharp tools. I also could probably grind it with less aggressive diamond ruby bits. These carbide bits, it was, it carved very fast. And in areas it left it smooth, but other areas I've got to go back and clean it up. So my review is, at first it was wow, because it carves fast and leaves smooth finishes, but it almost does it too fast, and for just texture alone, you're going to have to go back and clean it up. But still, it's very versatile. On a large scale, you probably don't need to clean it up. You probably could burn it, or depending on your finish. But I think it's a good tool. And then finally, the Turbo Scraper and Turboplane. Of these tools, verdict's still out on the Turbo Scraper, but the Turboplane is a must-have. This is the best Arbortech tool, better than any of these tools combined, in my opinion. So it's an investment. It's the same as the Turbo Scraper, but I would stick with this one as my final thoughts. And it carves faster, and you leave a smooth finish with very little kickback. It has carbide. You can carve softwoods and hardwoods alike in seconds. I mean, it's just really, really fast and lots of control with a smooth finish. So how can you beat that? Also watch out for sales. I know Arbortech has one through the end of December of 2024. And it's a really good sale. I think it's like 20%. But if you use code ACP10, you get additional 10%. You can save 30%. I think that's right. Well, I know my code saves 10%. And I like supporting good companies. They've got great service, and they've been great to me. And I hope they are to you too. I hope you like these tools and this demonstration. Thanks a lot for following me at Wilson Live Sculpture and subscribing to my YouTube channel. Have a great day.